Have you ever finished a book only to realize you remember very little of it? It's a common experience and a natural part of how our brains work. Understanding why we forget is the first step to improving our memory retention when reading. When we read passively, our brain processes the information superficially, treating it as temporary data. Factors like distractions, lack of focus, or even rushing through a book contribute to this. Additionally, our brains are wired to forget information that isn't reinforced, prioritizing what seems most relevant or useful in the moment. But the good news is you can train your brain to retain more. With the right techniques, you can make reading a transformative experience where the ideas and lessons truly stay with you. In the next section, we'll dive into practical strategies that can help you remember everything you read. To remember what you read, it's essential to engage actively with the material. One powerful method is active recall. After finishing a chapter or section, pause and summarize the key points in your own words. This process helps reinforce the information in your memory. Another effective strategy is annotation. Highlight key passages, jot down thoughts in the margins, or use sticky notes to mark important ideas. This not only keeps you focused while reading, but also creates a quick reference for later review. Pair this with spaced repetition, revisiting your notes or key sections after a day, a week, and a month to solidify the information. Finally, make the material personal. Ask yourself how the ideas connect to your life or experiences. Creating emotional or practical connections makes the content more meaningful and easier to remember. If you're finding these tips useful, there's more where that came from. Subscribe to The Essential Reader and like this video to discover even more strategies to transform your reading habits. Let's keep going. To truly remember what you read, it helps to engage your emotions and place the material in context. Emotional engagement happens when you connect deeply with the story, characters, or ideas. For example, if you're reading a novel, imagine yourself in the protagonist's shoes. How would you feel? What would you do differently? This level of immersion makes the story stick in your mind. Context also plays a big role. Relating new information to what you already know creates mental hooks that help you recall it later. For instance, if you're reading a history book, connect the events to something you've learned before or link them to current events. This makes the material more memorable by building a web of related knowledge. Another tip is to visualize the information. Create mental images of the concepts or draw diagrams if you're reading nonfiction. Visuals are powerful tools for memory, making abstract ideas easier to recall. In the final section, we'll explore how to turn these techniques into habits for lifelong learning. Stay with me. Now that you know the strategies to remember everything you read, the key is to make them a consistent part of your reading routine. Start small by applying 1 or 2 techniques at a time, such as summarizing chapters or annotating your favorite passages. Set aside time for regular review. Spaced repetition works best when it's built into your schedule, so revisit your notes weekly or monthly to keep the material fresh in your mind. Journaling about what you've read can also be a great way to reflect and reinforce your understanding. Balance your reading diet. Mix books that challenge you with ones you enjoy for pure entertainment. This keeps your brain engaged and your motivation high. Remember, the goal isn't just to read more. It's to read better and retain what matters most. If these tips have inspired you to elevate your reading habits, don't stop here. Subscribe to The Essential Reader, like this video, and join a community of passionate readers striving to make every book a meaningful experience. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.